Hey friends, how are we doing? Hello, hello, hello. Svava Brooks here. How are you guys? Hey Karen, if you're here live, please say hello. Please let me know you're here so I can welcome you. Hey Sue, I see you on Periscope. I'm over here on the YouTube live stream today. If you are up for joining me for the live chat, would love to have you. If not, hang back, watch. Feel free to chime in with your comments or questions. Quick introduction. If you're brand new here, please say hello. Let us know where you're from so I can welcome you. My name is Svava Brooks. I'm abuse survivor coach, and I love to hang out with my fellow survivor thrivers as we work our way through the healing journey, the sometimes really hard healing journey, right? After child abuse or trauma. But it's easier. It's easier when we have each other. It's easier when we have support system, when we have others, when we recognize we are not alone. So how are you guys? How was the weekend? Today's actually a holiday, still considered a weekend, right? I'm going to see here. Let's see here. Leaning into the chat. There you guys are. Hey, Vicky. How are you doing, friend? My son will be laughing at me for me calling the YouTube. Hey, Chris-Ann. Well, right. It ages me, or I'm dating myself rather, right? I don't speak the right language, but it's not a holiday in the UK. All right, well, here we are connecting. It's good to see you guys. I hope you had a good weekend. Did you guys hang on for the ride with the full moon, the new moon we were going through yesterday? And into the morning, I was feeling it all weekend. So I used to get ripped for saying that. Okay, all right. So I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. So you guys got to tell me, right? So maybe I'll ask my teenage son to tell me, give me the lines that are approved. That YouTube. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. I can see I look like I just rolled out of bed, but not quite. So how are you guys? It's been a challenging weekend. I've been feeling all your hearts. I've been feeling all your hearts. You're as lost as I am. Thank you, Chris-Ann. Thank you for coming to my rescue, because you know me, guys. I just show up and see what I can do to support those that are here, whether it's on YouTube or Periscope or Facebook. So I appreciate you being there for me, Chris-Ann. I hear you, friend Sue. I know, a tough weekend. I hear you, friends. I hear you. So sorry what you're going through. Seems like, right, a lot of people going through a lot of stuff. Yes, Wanda, I just saw your post on Facebook. I'm navigating multiple screens right here. I just saw your request to talk about the hard feelings of loneliness. Tough for many of us right now. Yes, it is MLK, Martin Luther. I can't even say it, guys. Maybe I shouldn't have come on live today. MLK Day. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We should pull up some quotes from him. But it was amazing to see that people are out there marching and celebrating at this amazing person, right? What an amazing human. So much that we can learn from that, from all the fighting, right? Don't want to go into speaking about, right, politics or any of that the upheaval that we have that's going on in our world right now. But we have enough going on with our own hearts, right, my friends? But certainly, thank you, Rob. I hope so too. I hope so too, right? That I'm not being disrespectful. I don't think we are. I think the people that are here respect our intention, right? So, well, my friends, the topic of today was to talk about, right, how we struggle with our control, right? We had no control growing up. And so often part of our healing journey is to identify the fact that I don't know about you, but I was incredibly controlling. I used to call myself, I self-identified as a control freak. And I thought that was just one of my personality traits for a long time, until I realized, wait a minute, the need for security, the need to feel safe, the need to know what happens next, the need to know how this day is going to, roll out, and how to navigate being around people, right? So once I realized that this was just how my body and my nervous system and my thoughts and my beliefs and habits had all merged, right? Exactly. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Sue. Had to control everything to feel safe, right? We had to control everything to feel safe. And, right, the truth is, as much as we tried to control out here, it was also because in here, we had no control. There was just so much going on. So much going on. So hold on, my friends. I'm multitasking here. So I'm trying to. So technology is playing tricks on me today. So here, all right, I'm back. I'm back, my friends. So yeah, so recognizing how this need to feel safe, right, plays out in our lives, and has been, and may even continue still, right? It kind of can sneak in underneath the radar, right? So, hey, Brad. So glad you're here with us. Good to see you, friend. Thank you. I see that, Vicky. And Chrisanne is asking, there are times when I would like to know how you got from one step to the next before you gained all your knowledge. That's a really good question, Chrisanne. That's a really good question, Chrisanne. I actually have written a few blog posts about the steps, right? Because we gather them along the way, but then eventually you start to see as you move, we call it like surrender to the process. You start to see the cycle of the healing journey, like the steps that you tend to go through. And as much as I resisted the process and the steps in the beginning, right, the more I started to go through them, then I started to be able to identify them. I would identify there is need for safety. And then once I'm like, okay, I am safe, I recognize there's something here that I need to learn. And then I would gain some awareness. And usually with the awareness, something opens up, sometimes it would be painful, right? Once you learn something new, we've talked about it here, our resistance is often coming from new information entering the system, new information entering the system. And you can also think about it, once you know something that you didn't know, it's almost like that rug gets pulled from underneath you. You were just like, wait a minute, I thought this was how life was supposed to be, or I thought this is how I worked, and I thought this was why. And then when that gets kind of pulled away a little bit, then you kind of get left with, now what? There's like this opening, this space. Okay, if how I thought it was isn't how it is, then what? And then often that brings up feelings, sadness, grief, right? The loss of, what could have been, or loss of innocence, loss of, the time. That I think you're asking about that too, Chrisanne. Did you ever have times that you just wanted to be done with it all, exhausted from living this every day? I hear you. I hear you, Chrisanne. And there's definitely times where I have felt that way. But what usually also started to happen as I started to have more breakthroughs and start to feel like I had a better understanding what was happening and why it was happening. It also, I started to feel better. It's like I started to feel better about me. It was less about me being broken and impossible and that I couldn't fix it. But it was more, I'm intentional about doing this now because I want me to know that all that hurt that I've carried for so long, I'm going to make sure that I know how to be there for me until all the hurt has been, moved through and out. Does that make sense? So instead of like feeling bad about it, I started to feel like energized by it. And it's not to say, right, even this weekend, my friends, it's like, when you sign up for this journey, I'm no different than you guys. I also get, invitation to, okay, you're teaching this. Now you get to experience it too, right? So this weekend, I got to go through a deep process where it felt like that Band-Aid was just completely ripped off. And it was a full body experience of a lot of emotions. And I had to hang on for dear life, but I sat through it and reminded myself, okay, Svava, we've been here before. Isn't this interesting? We've been here before. And I talked to a couple of friends. I reached out to my community, and then I ended up sitting with my hubby and just letting myself cry, have the tears, letting the feelings come as they were coming up. And as I'm, like 48 hours later, I'm starting to see the gift in it. It's like, wow, because I got to tap into some rage, I got to feel angry. I got to, express some boundaries in a powerful way that I hadn't done before because I didn't realize how important it was to me. And by doing so, I feel exhausted from it. And you may even see it on my face. I'm feel a little tired, but I'm enlivened by it. That here was another piece that, unbeknownst to me, was still living inside of me. And I'm on a mission not to, as much and as fast as I can be impatient too. I want this to come out into the light. I want this to come out into the light. And yes, it's not fun or pretty, but now almost on the other side of it. I didn't think I was going to be sharing this with you guys this quickly, and I may write about it on a blog in a couple months when it's not this raw. Thank you, Rob. But I just want to be real with you guys. And since you're asking, I show up, and I'm going to speak what I feel moved to share. But yes, there are times where I'm like, okay, I'm at my breaking point. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't know. I hear you, Chrisanne. I hear you. And that's the other thing. I don't want to ever pretend. I don't ever want to tell you guys this is like gonna be sunshine and roses. Exactly. I am human just like you guys. But what I can say, and now my waterworks are coming, right, is that every time I go through one of these layers, I get to see how strong I am. I get to experience how resilient I am. It also brings me closer to my reason to want to fight for you guys, in terms of, it's like, yeah, if I can do it, if I can tap into this pain, I can feel you guys. Because if I pretend and shut down my heart, then I can't be open to you guys, then I can't hold the safe place for you guys, and you would feel it if I was faking it, right? I feel pretty strongly about that. But thank you, Rob. I know you guys do. I know you guys do. But I'm telling you, because we live in a world that is so good at pretending and putting on a face and doesn't want to feel their feelings. But being human is such a mess. It's messy. Being a human is messy. And it doesn't serve any of us to think that we can have a happy life or a good life without feeling what's really real. And what's really real is that we hurt, and we hurt for each other, and life is hard. Life is traumatic. Exactly. I hear you. I hear you, Vicky. I hear you, Vicky. And that's what I tell my kids. It's like, hey, I just figured this out. I just figured out what I was going to do or say or be when I grew up. So anyways, my friends, I hope this resonates, that it's answering your question, Chris Ann, is that, yes, there are times where I'm like, okay, that's it. I just need a break. And then sometimes on those days, I'm on my knees. I'm just like, all right, God, Spirit, Universe, I don't know what you think I can do, but I don't think I can do anymore. So if there's angel support out there, bring it. I need someone to lift this load. I need someone to take this on. I cannot do this anymore. And I can't tell you guys how many times I have been there, literally on my knees, where something has helped. Something shifted, it was like the help that I needed showed up. So and there's also the times when it's like, okay, I'm going to take a break from healing for this month or for the next couple of weeks and just go live my life. And that actually, happened once I had been on the healing journey for, I'd probably been pretty actively healing for 12 years when I had my son. And when I had him, I decided I was going to take a couple years off from my healing journey and just be a mom, right? Just focus on being a mom and take care of my babies and not be so actively like in the trenches. And it was a very good thing for me. Exactly what I needed. And then I came back to it. then I came back to it because there was definitely more work to be done. So I'm pulling out my joy right now. You guys want a little bit of joy? Smelling this oil makes me happy. So, and I pulled a card for you guys. Of course, it's perfect. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. So Chris Ann asks, for me, going into that place is so scary. I know it's so needed, but the pain is so enormous. Yes, I hear you, Chris Ann. I hear you. And that's where, you know, we need to remind ourselves. I know we need to remind ourselves, and it's hard when we're in the eye of the storm, right? Is we reach out to each other and to remember the pain is this feels so big because we were so little, right? When we were children, the pain was enormous and we had no control over it. We had no power over it. There was nothing we could do if we weren't getting love and support to process, to talk about, or getting help. So that's why, and it's stored in that part of our brain. Remember, our biology is stored in that part of our brain who does not remember, is this happening now or did this happen a decade ago, right? So like I said, this weekend I had to remind myself as I was breathing through this, okay, it's like, wow, this feels really, really big. And yep, this feels like this is happening right now, but I know it's not happening right now. I know it's not happening right now, but my body is feeling it right now, right? My body is experiencing it right now, but it's not happening in terms of, you know, the not being safe. So I hear you, Chris Ann. I hear you. I hear you. And part of us expressing our feelings and practicing, you know, putting words to them and just allowing ourselves to surrender to the emotion of it is how we are, you know, expanding our capacity to feel, right? To, like any other muscle that we exercise, the more we use it, the better we know how to operate from it, right? And like I said, this weekend when I was in the feeling, I was still able to communicate with my husband and navigate, okay, honey, this is not about you. I do not want to hug right now. This is where I'm standing. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm feeling. And I just need to say this. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to anything other than this is just what's coming out. Can you just hold the bucket and hold the space for me, right? And the poor guy just sat there and he did that, right? So anyways, right? When that pain, it's painful because, and this is what I was feeling. I hear you, Chrisanne. I hear you. And that's, I think, my biggest advice always. Yes, he is my lovely hubby, right? And it's because of him that I can do what I do today. I've had a safe place to practice. So I can, you know, I know how to self-regulate through some of this. Now that's why I can do this. But Chris Ann, that's, for so long, when it started to hurt, I would isolate. I would disconnect. I would withdraw. But now I know when it hurts, that's when I need to connect. I need to connect something out of myself, outside of myself, because otherwise the trauma wiring pulls me back into those old patterns or pulls me into those old habits that nobody cares, that I'm alone, that no one is going to want to sit and talk to me about this or hold this space for me as I sit and cry through it, right? So it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. And you may want to write that on your mirror. That was on my bathroom mirror for a long time. And also my thoughts lead to my feelings, that then leads to how I respond. I had that on my bathroom mirror in big letters for a long time. I needed to see that for years in front of me, many times a day. Every time I stepped into my bathroom, there it was, right? There it was. So thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, I think what we have is real love. Is it fun or pretty all the time? No. It's incredibly messy. It's incredibly messy. But you know, what I want for my husband and he wants for me is that I want nothing more than him to be his happiest self, meaning whatever he has to do to feel good about him. It's not about what I want from him. It's about what he wants from him, for himself. And that's what he wants for me. So, Christiane, when you reach out to someone you thought would be there, how do you deal with that? Someone who said they would and weren't. Good question. Well, I give people the benefit of the doubt, right? When I reach out to someone and they can't be there, even though they said they would, I continue. That's why we need more than one person. I know that's hard for us, but I know you guys in our tribe, you guys are learning to reach out to each other. So that's why, like, I had 10 people on speed dial, because not everybody can be there for us always and when we need it. So if someone says they are going to, but they can't, right? Life happens. Right? Assume that people are doing the best they can. And if they say, I can't right now, ask them, when is a good time for you? Like, I had a script. My husband and I keep referring to that because, again, that's where I had to practice. So I would read out, honey, I need some time for you to sit and listen to me. When is a good time? Is this a good time? Or if now is not a good time, can you let me know when it's a good time? Because in my mind, if he said, no, I can't, I immediately assumed he did not love me, that he was going to be leaving me, right? That he didn't care to help me or support me in all those ways. So it's important we keep reaching out, right? And also then it depends, what are the dynamics of the relationship, right? But ask. Well, Vicky, I am happy that it sounds familiar, right? But it's also important that we ask for support without making other people responsible for us, right? I'm taking responsibility for me and this hurt. I'm not asking you to fix it. I'm not asking you to make it better. But I just need someone, I'm just feeling it's important for me to listen, for you to listen. So if you have no one, we need to do the best we can to find relationships where we do get our needs met, because our needs matter. And like I said, I'm not perfect. My husband is not perfect. I know what the things are that he's very good at providing for me. But there were things that I knew going into this marriage 25 years ago. Of course, I thought I was going to change him, right? I was going to get him into shape, right? Of whatever I needed or wanted. But then it dawned on me, wait a minute, he came this way. I can't change him. I can ask for what I need, but if he cannot give it to me, it's my job to find somebody else who can provide that need for me instead of giving up and not seeking. The world is full of people. The world is full of people. And to continue to search, to find your tribe, to find your group, to find those that align with what you're doing in your life, your journey, whatever it is that you're working through, like us here, we're in this messy middle together, right? So don't give up. Do not give up. So through some of my girlfriends, I reach out to them for some things that my husband, he isn't good at. giving those things to me, instead of me being upset or wanting to punish him or withdraw my love from him or something, you know, being hurt. It's like, wait a minute, he gives a lot over here, he provides a lot over here, but this he cannot do. I can go ask and find somebody else to provide that for me. So when growth happens, you start to see things. Yes, yes. A lot of us are alone, but we find solace in being together in our Facebook group. Yes. And even just being here together, my friends, it's like we start to realize, oh my goodness, right? These struggles, these challenges, this is normal given our abnormal childhood or the challenges that we had growing up, right? I hear you, Rob. I hear you, Rob, right? And I want to encourage you guys to not give up. And this maybe goes to your question and request, Wanda, to talk about this emotional loneliness, right? Because it's a little bit of an inner battle. It's like we want support. We want someone to be there for us emotionally, but at the same time, we also may be resisting it. Like it's a little bit of a dance, right? So again, you know, take a look at, and I know we're already doing so much, right? And there's only so much we can do and as fast as we can do it, right? But I would invite you to take a look at how could you possibly expand your circle of support. Keep believing that there are people out there that want to support you, that you are not alone, right? And then the part of us, right? My little girl, right? My inner child who could not fathom that anybody would be interested to sit with me through those moments when I don't have anybody, right? Nobody cares, right? Instead of then for me, the more I started to go inside and be there for her, that also helped with that really deep emotional lonely place, because I didn't know for a long time what that emotional connection looked like, right? But slowly, when I started to go inside and just sit with her, because the emotional loneliness disconnect comes from her. It's from these guys. And she doesn't believe that anybody else out here cares. And she can't fathom that anybody is going to lean in with warmth and delight and just sit with her. It's like, I'm so sorry, baby girl. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yes. I know. Exactly, Sue. Sometimes we feel like nobody can help me, but that nobody that you're waiting for, she is the one waiting for somebody, right? In a lot of cases, right, that somebody is you. But the hard part in the beginning, of course, is when we don't know what that looks like or feels like. So I feel like I'm ranting a little bit here, but I hope this makes sense, my friends. That's where I want to get to. Yes, with her. Yes, yes, yeah. I hear you, Chrisanne. I hear you, right? It is scary, right? Because she holds a lot of those feelings. She holds it. Thanks, sweet Rob. Thank you, Rob. right? So that's the thing. We have choices, right? But in the beginning, feeling our feelings is scary. She is scared that you won't love her if she shows you her feelings. Good, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Rob. Right? She is afraid that you will reject her if she shows you the truth about how she feels. Right? But I also have, in my experience, she doesn't bring you more than what she senses you're ready, willing, and able to handle. It's not like she's going to come and flood you with all the memories. That's not necessary. She knows that. She's only going to bring you what is really real and needs to be seen, heard, and validated and connected to, right? Because she's in there. She's the one lonely with that feeling. Nobody cares. It's like when I feel her, I run away. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And Vicki, that's what I was feeling, 48 hours ago, this weekend. It was just like this, oh my gosh. It was like the warm wash of shame. And I was just like breathing deeply into my body. I'm like, oh, okay, here it is. I know this. I know what it's called. I know what it is. All right. Thank you for showing me. Right? And Wanda, you just posted the tapping diagram. It's like, right? You pull out all the stops. It's like, for me, it's self-compassion. I go to the warmth. I go to my warmth, my hand on my heart, to remind my body, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I whisper to my body, I'm here, I'm not going to leave. Yes, I want to run, but I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay with you because I don't want you to feel abandoned again. I'm going to sit with you. Thank you for the courage to show me how you really feel. Yes, I couldn't sit with you then, but I'm here now. I'm sorry I couldn't sit with you then, but I'm here now. Let's see here. Rob, constant pain, and the easy way is not to be here. I hear you, Rob. I hear you, and I'm so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry that you're hurting. It's hard. It is so hard. Rob says, easy for them, not you, Rob. Exactly. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob, for being, right, encouraging and supportive, right? We can provide this for each other here now, right? So, my friend Wanda, was that helpful? Was that helpful for you? And we have a chat tomorrow, my friends, at noon on the Zoom call. We can talk a little more about it then. But for most of us, right, loneliness is disconnection, that we don't matter, right? That we don't matter. And after decades of feeling like we didn't matter, that no one came after us, no one showed up to sit with us, right? then it's a story, powerful story that we have, right? And we live in a world that is, even though we're more connected than we ever have, we are still disconnected, right? Yes, exactly. We live as islands. I hear you. I saw your comment here. Let me see. I just want to make sure I cap that. All right. Thank you, Wanda. I see it. I see you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, catching up with your comments here. So, good. Awesome, Rob. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, along the lines of what we are sharing, two things actually. I want to encourage all of us, right? What helps a lot. And if you want advice, just don't want advice or need any suggestions, you just ignore this, right? You know where I'm coming from and my intention, that it helps sometimes just to name what you're feeling. Often that helps us just to bring the truth to it. For so long, I was feeling all kinds of things, but I didn't know how to name it. I didn't know how to put it into words or describe it. So anything that you can do to actually name what you're feeling or what you're experiencing. And then also, it helped me to understand why. I was always asking why growing up. And I still, through this healing journey, it's like, why am I feeling this way? And I know for some people, I drive them crazy because I need to know why. Like I go dig into my books or I read my trauma, what I've learned about my process and how people are working their way through their healing journey. So it helps me to understand why am I feeling this way. I'm not broken or stupid or crazy, right? Feeling is part of being human. So, okay, it's okay to feel whatever it is that I'm feeling. But the reason I think I'm crazy or stupid is because of my trauma and the shame and the secrecy and the guilt that I felt for so long. So that feeds into the story that I had, that no one cared, no one wanted to help, no one wanted to sit and process with me. But I have since learned who I am, what I need, and what I can ask for. So it helps to reframe it. And then at the same time also helped me understand what I was doing to distract myself, to avoid from feeling my feelings. So a lot more energy. I used to spend a lot more energy avoiding feeling my feelings instead of feeling them because I was afraid to feel them. But when I actually felt them, yes, not fun or pretty, but feeling them and then coming on the other side of it, I would be like, both maybe shocked, but also deeply appreciative. How strong I was, how resourceful, the new perspective, the new insight. So lot of learning, right? And that's what we do as humans. We learn because of the inner experience. It becomes wisdom when we connect it, right, on the inside. So exactly, rewarded by our bravery. And more, I know who I am, right? We talk about that. And when things, got really, really hard, again, I always focused on, okay, what about this is teaching me about love? It's like, what would love do? You guys say that you hear me in your head sometimes. It's like, what would Svava do? What would Svava say? I ask myself, what would love do? You know, how can I love myself through this? How can I love the person that I'm either struggling with, or what am I needing to accept about myself or what happened here? Not to try to change it. And like I said, as I've learned on the way, it's, you know, to bring warmth, to bring self-compassion and kindness and understanding. Because the more I've understood myself, the more I've understand and feel connected to you guys. So we have to unlearn first to relearn. And the learning is sometimes the hardest part, because we've built our identity, right? Going back to the control, our need for control. Like I've built my whole life around who I think I am. So, and when that's taken away, we're like, it's hard. We're insecure. And that's my takeaway today. What would love say? What would love do, right? So thank you, Rob. Words from my wife the other day: you like a woman because I show my emotion. Is this wrong? No. I'm not sure if I understand your question. You're like a woman because I show my emotions? No, Rob. No, my friend. There's nothing wrong with your emotions. Your emotions make you, that's the most real thing about you. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Exactly. So I drew a card for us today, my friends. You tell me what you think, if it's perfect for today or not. What do you think? Aww. So sorry, Rob. Isn't that perfect? One day he decided to open his hands, I know, and receive, right? Right? And that's what I also keep coming back to, my friends. That's what I was learning this weekend, is that there was still a piece of me that was pushing back on receiving love. And I was kind of shocked. Just like, wow, I'm still not trusting that I'm good enough for love, or that I'm worthy of it in this particular area, right? I was just like, okay, all right. All right, let's feel our feelings. Let's feel the fear. Let's feel the hurt. Let's feel whatever this little girl thinks is still the truth about not being enough to open up to love. Right? That's it. Open up to receive. You're welcome, Chrisanne. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Yeah, my friends, I'm still on this journey. I'm still going through processing and learning. And I think, you know, I think that's what we're here to do, to learn and to grow. That's what makes this life interesting, at least for me. right? And of course, there's times when I'm like, nope, too hard, don't want to do it. It hurts too much, right? But those days where I do the work and I go after it, right? There's more of those and it gets easier. And the spirals, the valleys don't get as deep, right? And also, it isn't as much of this. It's like actually quite a bit of a little bit of up and down, but a pretty kind of a balance for a while. And then you look back, things have been pretty stable and things have been pretty good for a while, right? So, my friends, I wish I could just reach out there, teleport myself. I'm actually going to do it right here, right now. Okay, guys, you with me? Let's drop into our hearts together. So what do I wish for all you guys? I wish I could teleport myself into your time and space, through time and space. Yes, group hug, right? But since I cannot do that, I can only invite you to put your hand on your heart. And with your intention, drop into your heart and feel that warmth from your hand on your heart. And you can whisper to your body, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Let your body know that you're home today. You're going to be in this body today. And the proof is here, right now. When you feel that warmth from your hand on your body, that's the language that your body understands. Warmth, presence. You can remind your body and whoever else is listening inside your body, sweet, sweet friend, sweet, sweet girl, sweet, sweet boy. I know this is hard. I know this hurts a lot of times. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to show up and be here for you. No one showed me how, right? But I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here now. And I'm doing my best to show up for you. To make it safe for you. To show your feelings. Make it safe for you to speak your truth. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not bad. I'm learning how to love and care about you and support you and show up for you. as much as I can. And again, I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. Your safety is my priority always. I'm doing my best to be here for you whenever you need it. I'm doing my best. So my sweet friends, where you can feel that warmth on your heart, if you ever need to pull on some love from me, drop into your heart, and this is where you'll find me. This is what I tell my kids, and this is what I tell you guys, because I believe we are all worthy of love right here, right now. Right? And I will gladly share all the love that I feel with you. You can call on it anytime, my friends. I love you. I care about you. I believe in you. And there's times that I wish I could do more. But I know in my heart of hearts, I do what I can. And that's all I can ask of myself. Thank you, sweet friends. I'm leaning in here to catch up on some of the chat. I'm loving the support here between Rob and Rob. Good job, my friends. Good job. Well, that's our time for today. And I am not going to be here tomorrow. I have a pretty busy and full schedule tomorrow, but I will see a handful of you for during tomorrow, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. But no YouTube stream tomorrow night, but I will be back here on Wednesday, same time, same place. All right. Well, thanks again, my friends. We kind of went off a different path, so we didn't even go into sharing some of your journal entries today. But I'm going to trust that it all went the way it should have been or needed to be. So thank you, friends. Awesome, Rob. Thank you, Vicki. And thank you, Rob, for being here with us. Thanks, Wanda, for being here. And I see Vicki and Chris Ann and Sue. And shout out to the rest of our tribe. Whether you're here live, right? You're with us in our hearts and our spirit. And we appreciate the love and the support always. So thanks again, guys. If this was helpful to you guys, please give it a thumbs up if you feel like it, right? And I look forward to connecting tomorrow and then again here on Wednesday. All right, sweet friends. I know, be gentle with yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. Good night, everybody.